If I told you that a mother who sacrificed her entire life for her only son woke up one morning and heard her daughter-in-law say, "We got married yesterday," would you believe it? Aunty Shazia was always a strong woman. After her husband passed away, she took her tiny son Hamza in her arms and whispered, "I'm here. I won't let you miss anything." And she meant it. Daytime tutoring, nighttime sewing, sometimes helping in other people's homes. She did everything just to raise Hamza with dignity and love. Life was tough, but their home was warm with affection. Hamza grew up watching his mother struggle, and he always said, "Aunty, I will make you proud one day. I will never leave you alone." In her heart, Aunty had only one dream: to arrange her son's wedding with joy and celebration. Every now and then she would ask, "Beta, when will you get married?" And he would always smile and say, "When I find the right girl, you'll be the first to know." She never imagined how painful the real truth would be. The morning everything changed. It was a normal morning. Aunty prepared breakfast, set the table, and called Hamza. But he didn't come alone. A young girl walked in with him. Aunty assumed she was a classmate or someone needing help. With a kind smile, she asked, "Beta, who is she?" Hamza took a deep breath, as if something inside him was breaking. Before he could speak, the girl softly said, "Aunty, we got married yesterday." The world froze. Auntie's hands trembled. "What? Married? Without telling me? Without asking me?" Hamza looked down in shame. The girl's voice cracked as she spoke. "Aunty, he wanted to tell you. He was just scared. Scared you wouldn't accept me." Aunty stared at her son with disbelief. "You were scared of me? I raised you alone. I gave you everything. And you couldn't trust me?" Hamza had no answer. The pain that followed. That night, Aunty cried until her eyes swelled. Her heart kept asking the same question. Was I really so unimportant that my son married without me? The next day, the girl, Maria, tried to speak to her. She stepped slowly into the kitchen and whispered, "Aunty, I know this happened the wrong way, but please believe me, I am not the reason for the hurt." Aunty finally looked at her properly. In her eyes she saw fear, sadness, and truth. Her heart softened slightly. The real reason behind the secret marriage. One afternoon, Aunty asked, "Beta, tell me honestly, why did all this happen so suddenly?" Maria lowered her gaze and said, "Aunty, my family was forcing me to marry someone else. Someone I didn't even know. Hamza saved me. Otherwise, my life would have been destroyed." Aunty was stunned. "You were forced?" Maria nodded with teary eyes. For the first time, Aunty felt the real pain behind their actions. He had protected someone. But society? Relatives? Neighbors? What will people say? That question tortured her. The world's cruel judgment. As soon as the neighborhood found out, the taunts began. So sudden? Married without the mother's blessing? Something must be wrong with the girl. Each sentence stabbed Auntie's heart. One day at the market, a woman said loudly, "Shazia, this must be your upbringing. No wonder your son did this." Aunty felt her world collapsing, but she stayed silent. That evening she came home and saw Maria in the kitchen, cooking carefully, nervously, like she was scared of making the smallest mistake. Aunty looked at her not as a daughter-in-law, but as a frightened, helpless girl. The night everything changed. One night, Hamza came home late. The moment he entered, Aunty gasped. He was injured. "Hamza, what happened?" With pain in his voice, he said, "Some men attacked me. They said I ruined your respect, and they wanted to teach me a lesson." Aunty felt her heart crack open. Maria burst into tears and held Hamza's arm. In that moment, Aunty realized these two truly loved each other, and she was standing between them. That night, she didn't sleep. She just fought. And she made a decision. Auntie's turning point. The next morning, Aunty called everyone to her home. Relatives, neighbors, everyone who had judged them. People whispered, "What does she want now?" Aunty stood tall and said, My son and my daughter-in-law are not wrong. The wrong ones are all of us, who judge without understanding. They took this step out of fear and love, and today I stand with them. Whoever wants to mock them, the door is right there. Silence filled the entire house. Hamza's eyes welled up. Maria cried softly, but this time, these tears were of relief. A new beginning. Days passed. Aunty slowly accepted Maria, then loved her, and finally embraced her as a daughter. She taught her cooking, household management, and Maria brought new joy into the home. Hamza recovered from his injuries and grew closer to his mother than ever before. A few months later, one evening, Aunty smiled and said, "Beta, isn't it time for some more good news?" Maria blushed. Hamza laughed and said, "Ummi, this time, you'll be the first one to know." Ending full circle, hook. This is not just a story of a sudden marriage. It is the story of a mother, a son, a daughter-in-law, and a society that judges too quickly but understands too late. If Aunty Shazia had stayed angry, if she had held on to her pride, this family would have fallen apart forever. But a brave mother chose love over ego, forgiveness over anger, family over what people will say. And that is why she is the brave auntie whose story touch.